Whatever your hands find to do, do it with all your might. Hi, I'm Crystal.
And I'm Azuri.
And this is where we empower nurses today
for nursing tomorrow.
You're watching Real Nurse. So today we'll be talking about the psychological effects of COVID-19 on healthcare workers, more so nurses. We know that nurses make up a large majority of the healthcare team, and the healthcare environment in and of itself is a high pressure environment. So now that we have a pandemic on our hands, it brings added fear and anxiety towards even apprehension towards going to work. And other psychological effects, loneliness, depression, are just some of the things that healthcare workers experience in this time of the pandemic.
But in terms of psychological effects, what exactly are we speaking about? We're talking about anxiety, depression, loneliness, and lack of coping. How do we deal with these situations? Let's get right into it. First of all, competency and skill. Always remember that as healthcare workers, especially nurses, we are trained to handle these types of situations. Meaning cases where a disease or a condition is highly infectious or contagious, cases where situations are just seem to be so out of control when it comes to the health environment. This is something that we are trained to do. However, with every situation, it requires a new mental build-up. Meaning, as nurses, as healthcare workers, we are not immune to the situation. We will have fears, we will have concerns, we can be overwhelmed. But we have to use the tools that we have and even get tools that we don't have to manage the situation. First of all, one of the things that nurses will face is that they may have an ethical dilemma. Meaning, should I go to work and protect my family, or should
should I stay home?
Should I stay home?
And
protect my family, or should I go to work and treat those who need my help? How do they do? How can they deal with that, Crystal?
Right. I like the term that you use, ethical dilemma, because we as healthcare workers, we took that pledge. It is our duty to serve and protect and to save lives, and to especially when it's affecting our country. It's a worldwide thing. We have to play our part, and we have to do our role and our duty with assisting or doing whatever we can to get things under control. On the other hand, we have our family, we have our children. After caring for persons with the disease, we have to go back now to our family and interact with them. And so there is some kind of apprehension. There is role conflict, right? There's a conflict. It's one individual and you have several roles to play. And so what do you do? But as you mentioned before, you're already prepared. You're trained. You have the knowledge. You have the skills. You have the know-how. Sometimes it's a bit difficult because you don't have the resources that you really need to manage. I know for some persons resources can be an issue, and so there is that drawback when it comes to resources. But we have always been, I know in Jamaica, we always get around things. We always do what we do, and we put things in place and find other resources and use other resources to protect ourselves and do what we have to do. So that the thing that you can do is know that you're prepared, know that you're trained, know that, and even if you feel as if you need to get more knowledge, or you need to build up on the skills or whatever it is, the information is there. The internet is there. All you have to do is read and prepare yourself with the knowledge or the skill set. Sometimes you have to go and revise and review certain knowledge, but know that you're already prepared and you know what you're doing. So that is one of the things that you can do to help you to kind of navigate that role
through this pandemic. Another way of handling the conditions that we spoke about prior to this is support. There are several types of support that are out there. There's family support. You can sit with your family, you can talk about where you're having a problem. You'll not be able to talk about the patient or, you know, in terms of confidentiality, but you can talk about your emotions. You can sit with a friend or a family member and just talk to them, because a lot of times talking gets off what is stored up here and what is stored up here, and that is one way of relieving the stress that you will face. Another support that you can look to is the work support.
Right.
You have colleagues that are in this field. You all work together. Sometimes your stress might not be the other person's stress,
right?
but there are similarities,
Yes.
and therefore you are able to relate to each other and therefore help each other along the way. Another support is online support.
Right, virtual support.
Yes, there's virtual support. And with this wealth of information and knowledge that we have available out there on the internet, you can always find the support that you need online.
Right.
And you can activate that support, and you can, for 5 minutes, whether it be at work or at home, you can just tap into that information and see what is offered. Another type of support is spiritual support.
Right.
Prayer is always important.
And essential.
Right.
Right.
And sometimes you are not able to relate everything that is stored up here and stored up here, but you can talk to God about it.
That's
you
right.
can tell him what you are facing, what you are dealing with, and we are equipped with the Bible to read and to get knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, so that we're able to manage what we are facing as nurses.
Right.
Okay, so we're just going to go right.
Just before you go to another point, though, Azuri, I like the fact that you mentioned support. So you mentioned family, and you mentioned work, and you mentioned prayer and online and all
Yes.
that. One of the things that came to me is that a lot of persons, even in healthcare, they don't have family support. They don't have that. They live alone, or they don't talk to anyone.
Okay.
And then there's this new issue of being stigmatization at work, because you're directly caring for persons with COVID-19, and so healthcare workers or your colleagues or team members there's some stigmatization there. So because I'm directly caring for this person that has this disease, I am not able to sit in the lunchroom, in the same lunchroom. Persons are, standoffish. And I mean, you can understand the fear of directly, but that is what is happening. So if I can't find that family support and my co-workers, or because healthcare is a team approach, it is a collaborative approach, and so we all need, no man is an island, no man stands alone. And if you're in a team and you're having that kind of stigmatization within the team, it must affect the kind of care that you're giving,
and it adds to the stress. It
adds to the environmental stress. It adds to the stress on the healthcare worker themselves, but it also adds to the stress of the patient, the person that has the disease. So you're in this space mentally, you're not prepared, or you're going through this issue with your colleagues, or whatever it is that you're going through, but then the person that is in front of you, they're in such a vulnerable state. It's like they need you to be strong at this.
Well, two things I want to add to that is that if it's a case where there is nobody present, what you can do, there are organizations that are out there that provide individuals with counseling. You can speak to your matron or anybody in the organization, which is the hospital, where you can get outside support if you're not comfortable, or if you don't have access to friends and family. Another thing that we want to encourage you as nurses, remember that we're a team and that we're all human beings. So we encourage no stigmatization in the workplaces. Moving along. So another way of managing these situations is eating well. Eating well is important.
Yes.
Remember that this body is the main tool that you're using, and if it is not taken care of, if this physical body is not taken care of, it's going to affect how you perform and how you treat the patient. So eating healthy,
Right.
And eating 3 square meals a day is also important. Another important tool is rest. Rest is
Very
important. If you are not able to rest, you're going to feel the effects very quickly.
Yes.
And that is going to affect how you assess the patient, how you give treatment to the patient, what goes in your notes. Those things are important, because when the mind is not rest or has been given rest, it cannot function to its optimal capacity. And so we encourage you, rest as much as possible. Another way is to encourage yourself. Speak to yourself, look in the mirror, talk to yourself. It's not a case where you're having a mental breakdown. You're looking in the mirror and you're encouraging yourself, telling yourself, I can do this.
Right.
I am able to do my best. I am able to give care to the best of my ability. I am able to overcome this situation. Remember, you have to build this mind up and strengthen this mind, because every situation is different. Not all situations are the same. And sometimes what we must always remember, whatever situations we face, adapt and move and change. That is important. And lastly, keep up to date with the information that is at hand. Do not leave yourself in the dark. Information gives you a tool of how to handle what is coming and what you're not aware of. So if it's a case where there's new developing in managing the situation, you are right there on target to know how to do it and is informed about it. Also, it is important to you as an individual. Remember that this is not a case where we're just giving care to the patient.
Right.
We're giving care to ourselves.
Yes.
We're giving care to the public. We're giving care to our family and our friends.
Right.
So once you are exposed to the information and you put yourself, you are proactive
Right.
in getting that information that is necessary. You are positioning yourself to handle the situations. And therefore, this will allow you to not be overwhelmed by anxiety, not to be overwhelmed by depression,
Yes.
not be overwhelmed by loneliness, and you are able to cope with the situation. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Crystal?
Right. Well, you've mentioned basically all of them, but another thing that just came to me is do the things that you love, the things that you like to do, the things that you usually do. Don't
Even
forget
isolation.
right. Don't forget your hobbies or your pastimes, to help, because remember that there's no good health without mental health. And if you're not mentally prepared to go out there and to deal with your patients and to just deal with everything that is going on out there, it doesn't make any sense, because you will just become you will become the person that is in the bed, that
The
is
patient,
in
you become a
you
patient.
become the patient.
Yes.
Right. So do the things that you love, whatever is your hobby. Find that safe space and do those things to kind of help you to alleviate the stress. Reach out, as we mentioned before, reach out to your family members. Keep up to date with the current information. The World Health Organizations, they give information on a daily basis. Encourage yourself, pray, do whatever it is that you need to do practice good habits
And self-care.
right, and self-care, and do the best that you can to take care of yourself in this time.
Well, we just want to thank you for spending time with us in finding ways in which we can deal with psychological effects of COVID-19. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.
And remember to subscribe and to comment and to like and to share, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you.